Jason Edwards and Tom Fox here with Gold Rush Series. We're going to be covering sideline coaching. Now, this is a different type of paintball. Let's start that over.
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Jason Edwards and Tom Fox here with Gold Rush Series. This time we're going to be covering sideline coaching. Now, sideline coaching is something that we used to do back in the day, and it hasn't been done for quite some time. It adds a whole new concept to the game, and we're in one of the few leagues that are actually going to be allowing it. Now, there are rules to sideline coaching, and I'll cover those real quick. So you're going to be allowed to have sideline coaching on the spectator's side. They can yell, they can use signs, any kind of visual cues that they want. They're allowed to counter coach. And with counter coaching, we do ask that it's respectful. You're allowed to taunt. You can say, hey, you're the last guy alive. Better be careful. You can say, a guy's coming, even if he's not coming. You're allowed to mess with them. We just want it to be respectful. No harassing the referees. And, don't make a clown of yourself. Do it professionally, and that way it's fun for everyone. On the pit side, the players are allowed to yell from the pits to the teams that are playing, whether it's their team or the other team. And again, they have the same rules. They have to be respectful to the referees, and they have to be respectful to the opposing team as well as their team. Inside the pit, you cannot use signs or visual cues, though. That is only allowed on the spectator side. On the front and the back sides of the field where you start, there is no coaching. So there's only going to be coaching on two sides of the field, and it's going to be up to you to provide your team to coach you. Not your team, but your friends, family, whatever else. A rostered player on your team cannot be on the spectator side coaching. They must coach from inside the pit. So that is one rule that you need to pay attention to, because it will count as a penalty if one of your rostered players is on the other side coaching. Going from that, is there anything that you have to talk about?
Well, I think a lot of people have a lot of concerns about sideline coaching because a lot of players have never played with it. Younger players have definitely never played with it. So I think they aren't sure what that's like or whatever, but you played through the era when there was sideline coaching. You've played without sideline coaching. So, how do you really feel like it impacts the game?
Number one, the biggest reason for sideline coaching is to allow the spectators to feel that they have a purpose to be there. So for me, my mom used to pay her own expenses to go from event to event and sideline coach because she felt that she provided value to the team, which she did, because you will learn, and as you play, that sideline coaching is very chaotic, and you already have a hard time hearing a player next to you talking to you. So hearing 20, 30, 50, 100 people on the sidelines, it's hard to pick out what they're actually yelling to you. But when you can train yourself to listen to one key voice, that information becomes way more valuable. As a player, you get key information, but you also have to learn to play through the counter coaching and the nonsense that people are yelling to you. A lot of times people you trust are still going to say the wrong info.
Right.
So there's still a lot of communication that's required on the field, and being a player, it feels so much cooler to do a sneaky move or to make a big impactful move with sideline coaching versus just sneaking around. But the main factor here is to provide value to the spectators to stay and watch the matches. I've ran a few series. I've been to a lot of paintball tournaments. By the time finals rolls around, no one stays and really wants to watch unless it's World Cup or something like that where it's a big, major event. So you end up going and playing your finals, and it's just crickets out there because why stay and watch? They can just see what happened online later on. So now it gives people a reason to come support you, watch you, and it gives the reason for the teams that got knocked out to stay around, because a lot of teams have friends on other teams, right? So now they want to stay and support their friends while they play.
And I ran organizations through that period, and I've ran organizations after that period, right? So I've coached from outside the field, and I've coached a team from in the pit, and I've also looked at the results time-wise from games that were sideline coached and for games that weren't sideline coached, and average game length hasn't changed.
No.
In fact, we even ran tests here, and so can it have an impact? Absolutely. But does it make such a magnificent difference on the field that you're going to be at a serious disadvantage? And like Jason said, no, it really doesn't. It just helps it brings a lot of energy to the game. It gets mom, dad, girlfriend, wife, husband, whoever involved, the kids, and it's just a lot more fun.
It's way more fun. Mm-hmm. And I think you guys are going to experience that, and you're going to love it. And hopefully it's something that, comes back into paintball, because playing on the professional level and just hearing crickets out there, it's not as fun. I enjoyed, for instance, one story, when I was over in Europe playing the Millennium Series, you know, on an American team, playing the hometown heroes for them, beating them. It was like a full-blown professional soccer match. I'm talking people booing every time we shot someone instead of hearing a cheer. You know, having every time you thought you made a good move, immediately they start shooting your bunker because they know you're there. But when you still win, you know, you leave like you're a villain during that match, but afterwards they're like, all right, those guys are really good, like they deserve that. And then all of a sudden you have a whole new fan base. But it was just awesome, like, you know, even actually being booed, just knowing like they were so angry that we won that event, but then they fell in love with us after, you know. But like, it's just the energy out there, it's so loud and exciting, and I think everyone's gonna fall in love with it.
I think so too. And like, guys, get out there, try something different, come out and play Gold Rush PB. Go online, goldrushpb.com, for more information for all these questions and answer videos. And if you have questions, ask them there or ask them on Facebook.